Hi everyone, this is Dr. Aitsi-Selmi for another episode of Wise Wednesdays. Today I want to talk about why your words matter in creating and improving work culture and share with you 4 principles to increase your influence and impact. You may have heard the expression abracadabra. In Aramaic, it means I create as I speak. It seems like ancient peoples of that time knew that speech was a powerful way of changing things in our environment. And it didn't have to be magical, it just had to be very practical and very conscious. How you use your words has to be a choice. And this is something that we work on very closely with when I work with clients, because increasing your influence and impact requires a greater level of self-awareness. How you use your words has to be measured. It has to be thought through. So you can come from a responsive place that's appropriate to the situation you're facing and not a reactive place where words just come out and maybe cause damage that can or can't be repaired. So I want to share with you 4 principles that can help you to use your words and your language in a more effective way in your everyday life and at work. Number 1, know that speech is an act. Speech isn't just words that disappear into thin air. Speech is something that people receive from you and interpret and respond to as a result. So next time that you're speaking to a colleague, to a friend, to your partner, think very carefully of what you want them to receive from you. And know that they are receiving something that translates into emotions for them, that translates into thoughts for them, and that will translate into actions. So your speech has had multiple effects by the time you've completed your sentence. So speech is an act. It's not a disappearing act, it's a real act. Number 2, your speech creates your future. Sometimes people talk about how the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. This is only true under certain conditions. What conditions are those? Those are conditions where people are just reacting and behaving automatically. In a situation, in a culture, in an organization where people are constantly evaluating themselves, they're reflecting, they're learning from their mistakes, letting go of what no longer works, letting go of the past, and stepping into the future with new ideas based on what they've learned and the new creative ideas that come to them. The past is not the best predictor of the future. The future is the best predictor of the future. In fact, the future that you're presencing through your words, what you're saying about the future and the possibilities of the future, is what's going to create the real future. So again, speech being an act used in a way that brings the future into the present will create the highest possibility, the highest possible future for you and those that you work with or live with. Third, judgment creates toxicity. Discernment creates wisdom. You may have noticed conversations around you that start off in a positive way or a neutral way, and then at some point someone mentions something about someone or blames someone or brings in some negative judgment of something or someone into the conversation, and the tone changes very quickly. Other people may join in, and before you know it, you have a slightly negative or very negative conversation, a negative atmosphere that's built up. And that creates a situation where you have to choose what to do. Do you stay in that situation or not? It puts you in a slightly difficult position, particularly if you don't want to take sides. And if you take sides, that can create consequences later down the line. But the point here is that speaking in a judgmental way creates negativity. And it creates negativity for others, but also for you, because it lowers your capacity to feel relaxed and safe and respond creatively to the situations you're in. And if that's repeated over time and other people participate, then that is going to build up into a culture of blame and of negativity. So judgment creates toxicity, and it's important to avoid it or not engage with it. What is useful is discernment. And that is the ability to distinguish the finer elements of a situation. It's the ability to look at something and see the important elements of it or the essence of it, or see an interesting point about it where action can be taken, where something can be changed positively. And that is what creates wisdom over time. The ability to see situations clearly, to discern these finer points within a situation rather than sort of the easy, reactive aspects of it, is what is going to build wisdom, and also, more importantly, creates a sense of psychological safety. How does it do that? Well, if you're in an environment where you know people don't judge either upfront or when you're away, you're going to feel much safer expressing your opinions. And the same goes for everybody else. If everybody agrees that judgment has no place in the workplace, then everybody feels safer and everybody feels more accepted for their opinions, their views, and their contributions. Finally, principle number 4 is to honor your word. Again, coming back to speech being an act, when you promise something, when you make a promise, and you may have heard the under promise and over deliver aphorism that's used sometimes, people rely on you, people receive that, they receive your promise and they count on it. And so not honoring your word breaks the trust that they may have in you. And it goes both ways, of course. Honoring your word is a wonderful way to tell people that you're a reliable person, that they can give you opportunities. And again, it creates healthy bonds and a healthy culture in the workplace, where people know that what's being said is true, and that if a promise is made, it can be kept and they can rely on that promise. So it's very important to honor your word. And the principle that goes with that is to not make promises that you can't keep. And this is very important for those of you who are rescuers and fixers and may overpromise or overcommit yourselves. Don't do that. Stop doing that and only commit to what you can deliver, or what you think, really genuinely think you can deliver. Pay attention to your intuition. If your intuition is saying no, don't say yes. Make sure you say no. And that is a healthy way of speaking your truth, of saying only what is true for you in that moment, and not allowing your truth to be distorted by either the rescuer fixer identity or unfair pressures on you. So those are the 4 principles I wanted to share: that speech is an act, that your speech creates your future, judgment creates toxicity while discernment builds wisdom, and finally, that to honor your word. I hope that's helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please share them with me. I try and help and answer the questions that I receive every week. And if you're interested in finding out more, feel free to visit my website at www.dramina.com and contact me with any questions that you may have about me or my work. With that, I wish you a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.